first stop is Flixborough, England, June 1st, 1974. The nitrochemical plant produced caprolactam, a material used to make synthetic fibers. One day, a critical reactor developed a crack and was removed for repair. To keep production going, engineers installed a temporary bypass pipe. It was a simple-looking bridge connecting to reactors. But appearances were deceiving. This pipe was not properly designed. It lacked adequate support and had not been stress-tested. On that fateful day, the pipe ruptured, releasing a massive cloud of cyclohexane, a highly flammable gas. Within a minute, the cloud found an ignition source. The explosion was immense, equivalent to 15 to 45 tons of TNT. The control room was destroyed. 28 workers were killed, and hundreds more were injured off-site. The plant was obliterated. Now, what did we learn from Flixborough? Before this disaster, safety was often seen as a matter of following individual rules. After Flixborough, the world realized that safety requires a system. The official inquiry revealed that the temporary pipe had been installed without a proper engineering assessment, what we now call a management of change procedure. Today, in any modern chemical plant, you cannot simply swap out a pipe or change a process without a formal review. This is now enshrined in regulations like the Control of Major Accident Hazards, or COMA, in the UK. Flixborough taught us that good intentions are not enough. Modifications must be reviewed with the same rigor as the original design. It was the catalyst for moving from reactive safety to proactive hazard identification. On July 10, 1976, in the small town of Seveso, a chemical plant producing trichlorphenol experienced a runaway reaction. A safety valve opened, venting a white cloud into the air. This cloud settled over the surrounding area. What the residents didn't know was that it contained one of the most toxic substances known to science: TCDD, a form of dioxin. Unlike Flixborough, there was no explosion, no fire, and no immediate fatalities. But the consequences were long-term. Within days, animals began to die. Children developed skin lesions. The area had to be evacuated and quarantined for years. The Seveso disaster didn't just change technical standards, it changed the relationship between industry and the public. It became clear that major accidents are not just a workplace issue, they are a public and environmental emergency. The European community responded with the Seveso Directive in 1982, which has since been updated twice. This legislation was revolutionary. Our third case takes us to the North Sea, to the Piper Alpha oil platform. On July 6, 1988, it was the world's single worst offshore oil disaster. The tragedy began with a routine maintenance job. A safety valve on a gas compressor was removed for servicing. The team working on it could not finish the job, so they temporarily sealed the open pipe with a blind flange, basically a flat disc, but it was not fully tightened. At the same time, in the control room, the main condensate pumps were being managed. Due to a communication failure, the night shift crew started a backup pump that was not authorized to run. When they switched it on, gas burst out of the loosely fitted flange. With nowhere else to go, it ignited. The initial explosion ruptured a major oil line, creating a firestorm. But the worst was yet to come. The platform had a design flaw. The living quarters were located directly above the process area, making escape nearly impossible. Furthermore, the emergency procedures dictated that in a crisis, the main oil pipeline pumps should keep running to maintain pressure. This fed the fire with fuel. The subsequent public inquiry, led by Lord Cullen, was scathing. Piper Alpha resulted in 167 deaths. The Cullen inquiry didn't just suggest tweaks, it demanded a complete overhaul of offshore safety. The key outcome was the introduction of the safety case regime. Instead of the government dictating every single rule, operators now had to prove to regulators when writing that they had identified all major hazards and had robust safety management systems in place to control them. This included the concept of temporary refuge, ensuring that living quarters could withstand an explosion long enough for evacuation. Permit-to-work systems were also overhauled to prevent the communication failures that had doomed Piper Alpha. The lesson here was stark. Production must never come at the expense of safety, and safety management must be demonstrable, not just assumed.